All right, moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from Nolan Unejo, who asked me to do a fun little crossover between Scooby-Doo and the Munsters. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier, that'll allow you access to do so. Excuse me. But other than that, let's get started with the video. So like I said, this is just going to be a fun slice of life kind of story. Scooby-Doo meets the Munsters. Like I've said before, I'm a big fan of the Munsters, maybe even more than the Addams Family. I know, hot take. But yeah, so let's get started with the video. So the story begins it's set during Halloween. I know we're doing it's halfway to Halloween anyway. So basically what it is that the Mystery Inc. gang is driving through Louisiana. And essentially what it is, it's Halloween in New Orleans, and they're just kind of driving by, and Scooby and Shaggy are just not liking this. They just hate the idea of coming to New Orleans, of all places, the most haunted place in America, and discover and like going to Louisiana on Halloween. It's like, we're only here for the food, Scoob. Yeah, beignets. They just want to go to Cafe Du Monde and just eat tons of beignets and all the other food. That's the only reason they're here. The reason why they're here is because they just want to like have they just want to have like a road trip. They just want to like go to New Orleans, have a fun time, and some of Velma's extended family is from New Orleans, and they're inviting them to a Halloween party. And again, Scooby and Shaggy were only dragged because, again, New Orleans has some of the best goddamn food in America. Fight me, you will not win that fight. No, really, like, the time I have been in New Orleans, I had some of the, like, I'm going to go off a little tangent here. I had some of the best food known to mankind in New Orleans. Like, I just want to go back to New Orleans for the food alone. Like, if you live in, I don't know if any of my subscribers live in Louisiana. I think tell me I'm not wrong on that. Like, I've had food from Pennsylvania and food from Tennessee and food from all of that. And don't get me wrong, Tennessee barbecue slaps hard. But, like, the food I had in New Orleans is beyond comprehension. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, yeah. So they go, and who else is there but the Munsters? The Munsters are also enjoying a Halloween vacation, and they're just kind of like walking around, and no one really pays attention because it's Halloween in Bourbon Street, and they're just kind of like they're just enjoying their time in Bourbon Street and all of that. And Herman like looks at Lily. He's like, "We haven't been here since our college days. Ooh, remember when we got lost in that swamp, Lily?" And she goes, "How could I forget? That's how we ended up with Eddie." He's like, "Ooh, I still got it." Meanwhile, Grandpa is just kind of like wandering around with Eddie and Carolyn, and they're looking at all these like voodoo dolls and whatnot and he's just like looking for new magic spells. Like he's like, I always wanted to try one of these New Orleans voodoo spells. I used to date a voodoo princess about a good 150 years ago, and she was a real gas. And Eddie's like, "Well, what happened to her, Grandpa?" "Oh, she found out I was dating another voodoo princess, and let's just say I haven't exactly gotten rid of the hex on me." So everyone's having fun. However, while the Mystery Inc. gang and the Munsters respectively are having a fun time at the celebration, that's when someone comes running in screaming. Like, they're just completely horrified. And they're like, "Monster! There's a monster in the swamp!" And of course, this catches the attention of both the Munsters and Scooby and the Mystery Inc. gang, and they're just like, "Some horrible monster tried to attack me and destroyed my boat." And everyone's like, whatever, nice Halloween prank, jerk. But Mystery Inc. is just like, what is all this about? Like, oh yeah, there's this legend of the Honey Island swamp monster in the bayou. So, I never believed it. I was just late night crawdad fishing, and then this fucking monster comes out and tries to attack me. And the Munsters get overhear this and was like, "Pardon me, young man. How what did you say this monster looks like?" "Oh, it's big and horrible." "Big and horrible. Must be one of ours on a bad day." So So the Munsters like overhear this and they offer their help because they're like, oh, we're something of experts on the matter ourselves. So Mystery Inc. and the Munsters, get in the Mystery Inc. machine, and they're just like, hey, you can take that costume off if you want. Oh, no, let's just say I was born with it. So they're all, like, chatting and all that, and Scooby immediately is already like, these guys are real monsters. They're like, real monsters, Raggy. They're like, Scoob, calm down, it's just Halloween costumes. Even Fred's like, yeah, Shag's right. And meanwhile, like, Lily's just like, I'm sorry, but did your dog talk? Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a thing. And Herman's just like, they call our family weird. So they go to Honey Island Swamp, and they're like, well, gang, let's split up. So Herman goes with Fred and Velma. Excuse me, Fred and Lily go with... Herman and Lily go with Fred and Daphne. Velma goes with Eddie and Caroline, and Grandpa goes with Shaggy and Scooby. And still, Scooby's still like on the whole thing of like, they're monsters, Raggy. Why would we really be? And they're like, and Scooby's like, don't worry about it. So they're all checking out different parts of the swamp and actually find the boat and find claw marks in it. And Herman's just like, man must have had a horrible temper or a really bad toothache. But I have a feeling I know who this is. I don't know for certain. And they're like, well, who could have done this? He's like, well, let's just say we were having a family reunion. But enough about that. So they're looking around, and of course, Scooby and Shaggy find the monster, and Gramps as well as too. And it's just this huge hulking monster just comes at them, swiping his claws at them. And Gramps is like, "Oh, it's you!" But Scooby and Shaggy's like, "I don't care who it is, run!" So they run. Everyone's running. It's panic all around. Until eventually, everyone hears shouting and screaming, and a big monster chasing them. And this leads to just one big chase across the swamp. And eventually, as everyone's cornered by this huge hulking swamp monster, he's like tangled in nets and caught in he's got like a hook in his mouth and all that. He's just angry. And that's when Eddie, of all people, walk up to him and goes, "Uncle Gil!" And Gil's like, "Ugh," just picks him up and hugs him. And they're like, and the rest of Mystery Inc. is like, "Uncle Gil?" And Herman's like, "Yeah, I told you we were here for a family reunion. This is our Uncle Gil. This is great Uncle Gil. He's, he was visiting from the swamp. He moved up here from the Amazon and has been living in the New Orleans. He wanted us to spend some Halloween with him." And then they're like, "That's not a mask, is it?" And they're like, "No, my boy, it's not." And that's when Mystery Inc. full on panics at the thought of actual monsters, and they just take off. And Herman's just like, the nerve of the youth today. I thought they were all kind of nice. Oh well. Well, since we're here in this lovely swamp, how about we have a little party to ourselves? And Gil's pointing to his mouth, because it turns out the fisherman that he attacked was trying to hook him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, old boy. Let me help you with that." Pulls the hook out. He's like, "No, we can all have a good time." So there you go, guys. That is Scooby-Doo meets the Munsters. Yeah, just wanted to do something fun, because how else could you do this? But yeah, want to thank Nolan Unejo for this Patreon request, and you guys tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.